Don't show up to Black events saying, hey, we need y'all. Don't do that when you've been absent.
Welcome to the Jackie Ray Show.
Welcome back to the Jackie Ray Show. I'm, of course, your host, Jackie Ray. Thank you so much for joining, especially if you are one of my day ones who have been rocking with the Jackie Ray Show for a very long time. I know I have not been doing it consistently for the last 2 years or so, but that changes today. From now on, you will hear me at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can hear it wherever you listen to your podcast, so don't feel like you have to join me first thing in the morning, depending on where you are, but you can listen to it everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart Podcasts, wherever you listen, and please follow along with that. And you can join me on my TikTok Live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. until 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as well at Jackie Ray TV. I'm going to touch on a topic today that is very local. For those of you who have been following me a while, you know that I do cover national news as well. Sports, politics, whatever, I cover it all. But today I'm going to deal with a very local to Long Beach story. However, the theme is very much a nationwide theme. It's going to be a little troubling at times, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together, so don't worry. So yesterday morning, first thing in the morning, I received 2 text messages that asked me if I had seen the racially motivated graffiti that was on the Martin Luther King Jr. statue that is in MLK Park here in Long Beach. So there's graffiti everywhere, and what we can see is a well-known Mexican gang here in Long Beach. They put down the graffiti first, and then it looks like the Black gang crossed some of it out. Now, there was a lot of NK, that is N-word killer. So I want to make sure everyone understands that. That is a very specific term that is used by Latino gangs, meaning that they want to kill Black people. This is something that's widely known here in Long Beach. So shout out to the city of Long Beach. They removed this graffiti fairly quickly. I went out at 5 p.m. yesterday. By the time my day was over, that's as soon as I could get there. And there's no trace. Couldn't see it anywhere. They did an amazing job of cleaning that up very quickly. But while I was there was a group of older people, had to all be 60 and up, looked like they were enjoying their evening, just laughing and talking, having a great time. We would probably call them aunties and uncles. They were just a very family-oriented, looked like to me, group of people. So they said they had been there since 10 a.m. and the graffiti was in the process of being removed when they got there. I'm not mad at them being there since 10 a.m. They are probably retired people, and kudos to them for enjoying their local park. However, I did ask other people in the neighborhood if they thought this was racially motivated, as the text message that I received said they were. And yes and no. So I'm going to dive into, and I've done some research and I've talked to a lot of people, including people who work with gangs in the city, trying to get people out of gangs, trying to keep track of what's going on with the gangs here in the city, things of that nature. So I've talked to some people about that. And that group of people that I thought was so cool, they do hang out at the park every day. According to sources who are very familiar with the gang activity in the city, those are OGs. They hang out at the park sunup to sundown. Because of that, they say it's a yes and no situation with this being a racially motivated tagging. They say, yes, it is, because the NK means we want to kill Black people. So it's definitely racially motivated in that respect. But this gang specifically has, I guess, beef, if you will, with the gang that the OGs were formerly tied to. I can tell you for sure that they're no longer in the banging world. So most of the people who are familiar with the gangs in the city believe that that was basically an inflammatory statement that was directed specifically to the group of people that hang there from morning to night. Whether that's the case or not, I do not know. What I do know is there's no one in the United States of America who does not know who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is and what he means to the Black community. I know that. And I know that I see the NK all over this city. This isn't just something that is localized anywhere. The NK is everywhere Black people are throughout this city. Why is that important to me? We all know what's going on in our country right now as far as what ICE is doing to Latino people across the country. Now, at the onset of that, we saw a lot of Latino leaders coming out and basically, I don't want to say chastising, but it very much felt like a chastising that Black people were not walking with, standing with, or protesting with, or fighting with the Latino community. I want to say this, and I'm going to tread as lightly as I possibly can while also being as truthful as I possibly can. I think Latino leaders, not only in Long Beach, but throughout the country, would be much better served in addressing the anti-Blackness that is very well documented, impossible to dispute, that Latino people have against Black people before you come out specifically to Black functions and ask Black people to stand in solidarity with you. It's hypocritical. It's a slap in the face. You cannot possibly think we're going to take you seriously when you don't address the giant racist elephant in the room. And I know the speech. I know it's been like, they're coming for us today. They're going to come for you tomorrow. That is not a motivational statement. That's a Tuesday for us. They are always coming for us. Using what happened in Chicago to Black people in Chicago and saying, see, we told you, means nothing. They are always coming for us. The Latino community has come for us. Here in Long Beach specifically, a lot of the discrimination cases that I have done stories on are from Latino people. So I would really want to encourage Latino people throughout the country, especially the leaders in that community, come and have a conversation. Don't show up to Black events saying, hey, we need y'all. Don't do that when you've been absent. Don't do that. But if you want to show up to Black events, I encourage you to do so and come with a, hey, we know that this is a longstanding issue in our communities. How can we bridge this gap together? Let's work together to bridge this gap. Don't come with an ask when you haven't addressed the issue. Don't do that. It infuriates me in a way that I cannot say. We had the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. parade out here that we had two. We always have two. There's the one that ended up in MLK Park. That was another celebration, two different celebrations. It was fine. But one specifically, we gave a platform. And I'm not mad. I know this individual. I'm not mad per se. But I was a little taken aback by the speech that was all about help us, help us, help us. This is happening. This is terrible. Please help us. But there was no mention of how we got here. There is a long-standing road on how we got here. It's well documented. I'm sure every city is different because Denver wasn't like this. The Latino community and the Black community for a long time now we ended up like that. But when I was a kid, it wasn't like that. And so there's a road, there is a pathway to how we got there. And I do think it's important for leaders from both sides, Black communities and Latino communities, to have this conversation. But that conversation needs to happen first. Putting the cart before the horse is disrespectful. It's completely disrespectful. But I do want to say this, and I'm sure I'll get some pushback on this. I don't have a problem with the older people hanging out in the park. If they are retired and they have the time, when I pulled up to the park and I saw them there, my heart was immediately filled with joy. Because it's great to see, the old school people, and they immediately greeted me. I felt very welcome. We had a conversation. There was no part of me that would have ever associated them with some sort of nefarious past. Obviously, everyone has a past. I'm not going to say that they haven't done nefarious things, but I'm saying whatever they've done in the past was not prevalent in the way that they spoke to or treated me. They pointed out where graffiti usually is. They talked to me about the type of people that are in the park. That park is in a part of Long Beach that has been neglected by our politicians for a long time. I have done stories about condominium owners that have been neglected because of the homelessness around there, and how the 6th District Councilwoman told them that, hey, what are we going to do? This is an area that is disinvested in or uninvested in or whatever the word is, but there's no investment going into that area. I have said this before. I'm going to say it again. The issue of crime will never be solved by an increase of police. It will never be solved by that because police respond to crime. They do not prevent it. What prevents crime is addressing what causes it. Typically that comes out of lack. So if you're investing in the community, making sure that people have access to good education, good food, that's a big one. I have shopped in grocery stores in that area. Not the best food choice. I'm not going to say it's a food desert, but when you're talking about getting healthy food, It's not that prevalent in that area. So you want to make sure they have access to healthy food, great schools, that they have access to affordable housing, jobs, vocational programs. Not everybody needs to go to college to make a good living in this country. Vocational programs. But when you address what the people need, crime will go down. If your response to crime is more police, then that means you care more about incarcerating people than you do about caring and taking care of the ills of that community. And that only happens to us. And you know how I know that is because we are over policed tenfold across this country. We are sentenced 5 times harsher than our white counterparts for crime. We make up a large portion of the prison system, and that's not because we are committing crimes at a greater rate. I don't care what Charlie Kirk told you. I don't care what the Republicans tell you. I don't care about the white supremacist narratives. The numbers say that our areas are over-policed. We are sentenced harsher. There is racism in this country that has not been addressed, and that is including from Latino people. Either address it or go with God. That's my TED Talk, y'all. That is my TED Talk. I have a bunch of other things that I wanted to talk about, but I feel like it is important for us to sit here and marinate on this. As Black people, do we have problems within our own community? Absolutely. Do we need to address those in-house? Absolutely. I have offered time and time again to hold a forum so we can talk about these types of things and we can start to build and grow together as a community. I will say this, as much as I am talking about people who come against us, that narrative is never going to change. I wish it would, but it's never going to change. The only answer for Black people is Black people. You need to be going up to your city council regularly in groups. This isn't just in Long Beach, everywhere. Go to city council in groups. Start taking care of your community together. That saying that it takes a village, that's our saying. Let's be the village for our own community. But we can't keep relying on, especially now, a government that has leaned into not wanting diversity, equity, and inclusion, making us seem like we are the ones that are abusing the welfare system when it's predominantly white people that are on welfare. Red states, Republican states are the ones that are using welfare the most. We are never going to be painted with a beautiful brush in this country. The best thing that we can do is paint ourselves that way, look at each other that way, celebrate each other that way, and lift each other up. The only answer for the Black community is the Black community. Now, I don't want us to think that we can't allow other people in, but when we allow other people in, they need to come with a level of sincerity. Coming to Black events and saying, help us, when you haven't addressed the racism and discrimination that you have levied against us is disrespectful. Stop allowing people to do that. I appreciate y'all for joining me today on the Jackie Ray Show. Don't forget to check me out Monday through Friday on TikTok from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If there is anything you want me to look further into, please go ahead and DM me. I'm on all social media at Jackie Ray TV. And don't forget, life is short, so make it good. It is free 99 to be kind. We all we got, we all we need. I'll see you next time.